Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the American Tier 7 medium tank, the T23E3. Now this is a preferential premium tank as well, which means that when it's +1 -1 like we've got currently, well it runs out on Tuesday, it means that it will always be top tier. And trust me, this thing is ridiculous. Yes, ridiculous. You heard that right. It's crazy. When it's normal matchmaking, it sees tier 8s, it struggles a little bit, but for the most part, it's a machine gun. Okay, this tank is so strong. It's the turreted E25. Especially with 6.0 crew skills, this tank is nuts. Okay, I can't put it any other way. This tank is just crazy. This poor Hellcat made mistakes. He made mistakes of trying to take the hill on mines, and the T23E3s, yeah, told him where he should go. The one thing that this tank isn't that great with is its standard pen, but for the most part, it just wrecks. Because the one thing it does have is it hasn't got the best standard pen, like I say, it's got decent premium pen. It's got an absolutely blistering, and I mean blistering rate of fire. It's got fantastic hit points. We've got 60 hit points less than the Tiger 1. That's crazy. It's got good gun depression. So, you can all-in people so often in this tank and just wreck everyone's day. It's well worth the pick up because it's so much fun. It's honestly so underrated. It's a wonder sometimes that you don't see more of them because it's just nuts. So we're on mines, and there's me and Swindle both in this tank, and we've done the play that is what you should always be hoping to do on mines, which is take the hill. Obviously, the random spawns that they've got on it sometimes means that one side gets it more often than not than the other, which is a bit annoying. But this hill means that you generally win the game. Yeah, pretty much. You win the game, because look at all the shots that you can get out everywhere. You can just pummel shots into people. So we're now firing down on this 45 TP. And he's fired at me, so that means I know I can get a couple of shots into him. I'm not going to guarantee pen this guy with standard, so I've loaded the Prem to put some shots in, and it's like, okay, well, he's just covered up. I'm going around, away from him. Now, actually, in this tank, I run rammer, vents, and optics. I can't remember if this tank can run vert stab. I think it can, but I actually run the vents and the optics so it buffs its view range as much as possible, and then basically buff the DPM, because the DPM on this tank is nuts. I mean, it's a 2.2 second reload if you activate the food. It's crazy. Like, what is this guy going to do against that? Absolutely nothing. He got one shot in, we got 3. His whole health is gone. So now he's gone, we're on the move. I mean, look how quickly we're going. As long as you don't crash into... Don't question my driving. I heard that. I heard that. The driving is perfectly fine, okay? There's no... it's fine. It's fine, right? We crash into rocks all the time. Everyone crashes into rocks. Yeah, it's fine. So anyway, we're like pummeling our way through this flank until that happens. We get set on fire, and it's like, no! And then my driving, it's not my driving, I swear. Right? My driving's fine. We're not crashing into buildings and nearly dying for it. No, leave me alone. No, we get lucky there. Well, we're pummeling shots into that T3485M, but we actually get lucky that he bounced. And then for some reason we tried to side scrape him. Not sure why, because we're very unlikely to actually bounce him if we do side scrape his 85mm. He's most likely to pen us like he did, and he did kill us. But unfortunately we died, but we still got 4 kills, 3,000 damage, 1,061 assisted. The ace tanker, the high caliber. It's a really nice game for such a great tank. It is a beast. It's very underrated. And it's one that, I don't know, it seems to get overlooked. But I mean, the rate of fire is so comparable to the E25. It's madness. So we finished with 1,843 base XP as well. Yeah, just a great game generally. Yeah, it does. It sort of gets left behind the E25. Because obviously the E25 has broken camo. Absolutely broken camo. And just a nuts rate of fire. As well as just being that sort of memey height. But this is very similar to that E25 in the fact that it's got very good mobility. It's got a similar rate of fire. Its gun handling is reasonably similar too. I mean, look, 2.4 seconds without food, and you get it down to 2.2 with food. It's absolutely nuts. So, we're on this second game on Sand River. And I'm going to go to the normal position I'd take at G5, 6, you know, at the mid-ridge anyway. Just so I can hopefully get some shots across at the people that cross over the JK line. And obviously it's a great position from this side, from this spawn we're on. Same as I'll always say in some of my videos before. This side is so much better than the other side now because you can quite easily get shots at people that cross, and it's a lot harder for them to get shots at you, whereas the other side you do get wrecked from people crossing and shooting you, and they tend to get to the other side of the hills or the dunes a lot quicker now than they used to, probably because they changed spawns or something like that. And that means that when you get to that position to snipe down, you're all very, very vulnerable. So that SP1C got absolutely wrecked. I don't know what he was thinking of doing. He got caught out by pretty much the whole team and just died. So now we've taken up this position up here. We're just going to put the 2.2 second reload with the food in to great effect here, just to wreck this poor KB85. He has absolutely no idea what's happening here. Just all of his health is gone and he's dead. So we're going to try and spot up anything that's crossing. Now there's that 244 over there. Unfortunately, he's hiding behind rocks, so we can't quite get a shot at him. We know there's something sitting at the back because it shot us. But then this KV2 gets spotted, and it's like, I might go get shots at him, but I'm worried about my back from the T23E3 and the Firefly that's over there. But it's like, okay, no, we're going to try and get some shots at this KV2. Now, because of the good camo on this tank, and obviously the crew skills making it good, we're not quite getting spotted when we're firing at that guy, but now we are getting spotted. I think that's because of the T34 behind me poking the ridge. Which means as soon as we start firing, obviously our camo is actually the Firefly. As soon as we start firing, the camo actually left us, which meant that we could get spotted. But, you know, now we're unspotted, let's try again. This KV2 is watching for us, and it's like, that's questionable. But we want to get some shots into this Churchill 7. We're going to struggle to pen the front of this guy's turret with standard rounds, so we load the premium, because we can butter this guy's turret front. It's only 150mm. At the front of a Churchill 7. He's actually blind firing our shell tracers, which is pretty good of him. And we're still ricocheting. You see, it's not even guaranteed with the premium rounds to go through this guy's front of turret, but we do have the pen to do it, as you see. And he's actually just penning our turret, because obviously the turret armor on this tank isn't the best. It can ricochet the odd tank shell here and there, but for the most part, it's not something you want to rely upon. And he was actually blind firing our shell tracers, which is, like I say, is pretty damn good. Not everyone does that. And he punished us a little bit for sitting in the same place as we were firing. And obviously that's the problem with something like this or the E25, where you take up a good position, but because you're firing so quickly, your shell tracers are giving your position away so often that it kind of does you in a little bit. So this Churchill's now pulling forward, and it's like, okay, I'll just pull into some bushes and start firing at this guy with the premium rounds, and we're just going to start destroying him. And this is payback for shooting me through the turret, buddy. Out he goes, and we'll see if we can get a shot at this KV2, but we can't quite do it. So we're just going to push up and down, see if we can get some shots at the TDs that are in their base. We pop a shot at the Jagdpanzer IV. Well, we tried to pop it blind while he was unspotted, but he got spotted just as I fired, and we saw that we bounced. And now we're just going to wreck his poor day. And he's dead. Me and the T71DA completely trashed him. And now this IS, who is very stock, is wanting us. And it's like, okay, friend. Okay, let's just punish you for that. But unfortunately, my driving... Again, don't talk about my driving. Yeah, we've had issues. And we're now, like, stuck. We've had physics issues, basically. We've hit these rocks and we've just slid a little bit. And now we're in an awkward place. But we slide down off those rocks. And we're still in a decent position because we know where some of the tanks are, and we've got to try and be careful because there is TDs left that were in their base, which will hurt us. But we know where the KV2 is. He's up there, and there's some of the TDs that are in their base. We try and pop a shot on the move at the SU-100. Unfortunately, miss him. Same as the Jagdpanzer IV. There's still the 244 that's been sitting in the same spot the entire game, but I kind of want to get rid of this SU-100. And we get a nice shot into his side. Unfortunately, don't kill him. And then we spot this IKV-90, or the 65-2. And we're trying to pop some... Basically, we want to keep moving here, right? Because obviously, we could stop and aim and get one shot into that IKV. but we know where the other TD is. We know he's behind these ridges, so we kind of want to keep moving so that we're not losing the momentum and being able to get damage. So we get a nice shot into his tracks. Unfortunately, we can't quite ram him to death. We pop a shot on the move at the SU-100 and unfortunately bounce, but the A44 finishes him off. And that was another nice game for the T23E3 that is, it's just such a beast of a tank. I can't stop saying it because it is a godly tank. We get an ace tanker, Confederate, high caliber. We're at 83%. It's one that I've definitely got to work on trying to get the second and third Mark IV because it's so much fun to play. And it's definitely well worth picking up. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you next time.
A great success!